I'm gonna praise the Lord. I don't care who don't like it. I don't care who try to mess my singing up in the video. I don't care. I'm still gonna get my point across. I'm still gonna praise. I'm still gonna praise. I'm still gonna praise. Come on, praise the Lord with me. Come on, sing it with me. Come on, praise, praise. Open up your mouth and sing to Yahweh. Sing to the Ruach. Sing to the Yahushua. Come on and wave your hands in the air. Say, Father, yes, I know you do care. I got my hands lifted up to you, my Father. I'm gonna praise you no matter what. I'm gonna praise you no matter what. I'm gonna praise you no matter what. That's what y'all should say. Make up your mind no matter what. You're gonna always praise your God, Father and Mother Rule. You're gonna always praise your Messiah who died for you. Come on and just praise. Take a minute. It ain't always about prophecies. It ain't always about the stock market. It ain't always about crypto. It ain't always about teaching. Sometimes you gotta take some minutes and you just gotta sing a song from your heart. And you just gotta look up and say, Father, I adore you. I'm gonna take a few minutes and I'm gonna praise our Father. I'm gonna praise the Holy Spirit and the Messiah. Come on and praise. Come on and praise. Come on and praise with me. Where everybody at today? I know. Guys, do you know 200 people who subbed to me have been unsubscribed to me? I had 11,700 followers. I looked at my YouTube in the evening yesterday, and all it says I have is 11,543. What? I looked at my analytics and everything, and then that said I had 11,669. What's going on? So people are being unsubscribed to me. So you guys need to check. I hope I'm on the right channel. Am I on? Listen, can somebody tell me, am I on Prophetic Mantle? I mean, Rosalind Solomon, because I get mixed up. Am I on Rosalind Solomon? Can somebody tell me, am I on Rosalind Solomon or not? Hey, sis. And look, it's only 11 y'all on here. Usually by now, it'd be 200 of y'all. You know, this harassment is getting real old. I'm telling you guys, it's getting real old. Been going on for what, 4 or 5 years now? I left and came back in 2019. It's getting real old. I was talking to God this month like that. It's getting old. It's like every time my channel start progressing, it's like they do something to slow it down. Obviously, I must be very important to you too. Because why else would they take the time to harass me, mess with my channel, put me in YouTube timeout, take away my subscribers, mess up my videos when I'm singing, sometimes mess up my videos and take out certain words. So I must be important to them because nobody's going to keep messing with you unless you have some type of importance to them. If you wasn't, they leave you alone. So that makes me feel good. I must be doing something right because they're coming for me. And it's getting old and tiring. I'm not tired, but I'm just saying. It's like an old tire. It's time to retire. So I I just want y'all to check your sub things just to resub. And I ain't the only one that's going through this. There's a lot of Christians going through this. And even non-Christians. It's ridiculous. What happened to the freedom, liberation of an American citizen? Really? Yeah, well, check y'all subscription thing and resubscribe. All right, so let me give y'all what I'm supposed to tell y'all. I'm gonna tell you about the technology thing first, and then I'm gonna tell you what the Lord was talking to me about as far as the market is concerned. Now, the Lord said that the tech corporations and social media platforms are already gathering our personal information. I told y'all this years ago that it was going to happen, and it's happened from a variety of sources, and it's nothing new under the sun. And it's certainly no revelation, right? We already know this, right? God told me this, and other people, right? Also, these organizations are using man's data to train huge machines and AI velocity machines and AI virtual machines, right? To learn data that sets that will help them to help us more, right? To do human tasks, working for us, doing all kinds of things for us, answering all kinds of questions for us, like a Google or Alexa. They will be solving various problems for human beings, drawing images and textual and written description. So they're going to be coming out with virtual assistants, which they have already, but this is going to be different. It's going to be like your individual virtual assistant, like your individual Google, but it's going to be your individual virtual assistant. It's going to do everything, but it's going to help you lose weight. It's going to help you be healthy, eat right. It's going to become like your best friend if you accept this type of AI virtual assistant. You know, you don't have to, you know, but eventually they're going to integrate it into your cell phones. They're going to integrate it into your tabs. They're going to integrate it into new TVs. They're going to integrate it into your computer. Like you already have, you know, these AIs talking to you and stuff, but they're going to become much more to the point where they're going to become your best friend. And what these things are going to do is just gather all your data, all your information. How you think the Antichrist is going to know where everybody at? How you think he going to know who you is and what you do and what you like? Because they gathering your data, boo. Like if you're on your cell phone looking at something, right? No, you on your phone talking, right? And then you get off and then you go to Google. All of a sudden, these commercials is coming up. You're like, wait a minute, I was just talking about that. That's because your doggone computer listening and that doggone thing in the AI in your doggone cell phone. It's recording what you're saying. They're recording what you're saying. Now, these organizations are working toward what they also call a super intelligence, or artificial intelligence that would and will surpass mankind's human intelligence in every arena. It won't be hidden. These developments and research is about to take place in the near future. Artificial intelligent virtual assistants will be offered to humans and become adopted and accepted and will become important just like human cell phones and tablets are. Unlike assistants such as Siri, Google, Alexa, AOL, etc., these virtual AI assistants and virtual ones will be configured and optimized according to individual preferences in a way that individual assistants will be assigned and therefore owned or by individual persons. What? Now, this virtual assistants will get to know their owners or the individual person better and better with time and collect and store the person's data, right? These assistants will help humans who accept this with all aspects of their life, like life, health, fitness, losing weight, social events, work, and leisure, even luxury. And for many will become their best friends. That is a AI friend and their companion. That is a sickening thought, y'all. This will be attractive and very alluring to technology that will be designed from the group up to take these responses and responsibilities from individuals. From individuals who have them. Now, this technology will seem to be very harmless and even beneficial for most humans who want a personal assistant to help them out in life and do all the tasks most do. want or like to do. This AI technology will do and be a personal trainer for those to lose weight, health and fitness, and all kinds of things in people's arena. Also be a coach. It could be a coach to you too, and teach you life hacks and desires and help you with your desires and goals. These virtual assistants would be to gather more data and information about people and their interaction in order to train these AI and technology machines, learning models, in a way that has never been seen before, on a level that has never been seen or matched before in mankind's history. God help mankind. Now, this information that they will be gathering will be deemed a necessity or necessary in order for the AI research that they are doing now to progress to where they want it to be. But, you know, what was disturbing that the Lord was talking to me about is that they're going to be gathering your data, and training has no it has no objective. Like they're not doing it for money. Like, it's just super intelligence. The purpose of them doing this is to get your data. It don't got nothing to do with money, although they're gonna make a lot of money off of this. Now, even those behind, now listen to this, even those behind this who's creating these things have no comprehension what this will be or like. Yet they will still build and structure these things anyway and go ahead regardless of this AI. So even these people who are doing these AI things and who are being led to build these machines don't even know the outcome themselves. And you know, like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, these different sci-fi movies, you always see the robots taking over mankind, and there's always one or two people left in the end that destroys these robots. That stuff is coming. These robots will eventually take over most of mankind, but there's going to be a small remnant left that's going to be the ones that destroy them. You notice, like Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, all these other movies where we see these AI robots taking over, but in the end, it's always 1, 2, or 3 people that wind up taking them out. That's going to happen in real life, guys. In real life, after these machines have taken over the human beings, and what's going to happen is the AI ones, the robots are going to become first-class citizens, and the humans are going to become second-class citizens, right? So they're going to take this world over for a period of time. But in the end, there's going to be a remnant that God's going to raise up to destroy them. Pay attention to the movies like Arnold Schwarzenegger. What's that black guy? He played Blade. Oh, my goodness. You know the black guy? He played Blade. I used to love to watch him. I think I right. It's a lot of them. You know, even, what's his name? He got a movie called Adam? Black Adam? Is that the name of, what is the name of the rock? Is that the name of the movie? Is it called Black Adam? Or is it called just Adam? Because if it's called Black Adam, you know they telling you Adam was black. Why else would they call it Black Adam? I keep telling y'all, all these subliminals and all these things they put in movies, they just telling you the truth. If they call it Black Adam, they like, yo, we letting you know Adam was black. It was color. You know what I'm saying? And like, I didn't see the movie with Rock, but I read reviews of it, and he's like the superhero now. And if you notice in these kind of sci-fi movies, even the old ones, like from 1950, 1960, 70, it is always a human being in the end. At least 1, 2, or 3, like a small remnant that always takes out the robots. So they telling you, for a while, the AI will take over. But in the end, it's going to be a small remnant that God's going to use to take them out. Pay attention to these movies, like the fallen angel movies. Yes, you have fallen angels. We know Yahushua is not a fallen angel by no means, right? And we know the seven deadly sins are his children. We know this, right? He had them himself because they could self-impregnate man and woman. And I proved this, right? And it's also in that Bible that God, he told me I could give it to y'all, but he said for me to wait until he says it. So I'm waiting until he says, go and do it. Y'all know, like, sometimes I'll be on live and he'll just tell me to release stuff I've been holding. So, you know, I'm just waiting, right? Be prepared for this. And when they come out with these new different type of apps and virtual help, you better run, because it ain't going to do nothing. But just what it's going to do is it's going to get to know you. You know, like our debit cards have chips, right? And I remember 2 years ago, I went to the supermarket and I tried to spend $200 for food, and my bank declined it. So I called them, and they was like, "Well, it was March or April," and they said, "Well, we haven't seen you in that store since December." I'm like, "And we like to track." And when you don't be in the store for a certain amount of time and you go in there, it could be, suspicion. That's what made me realize they are tracking us with these doggone debit cards. You know, I don't barely use them doggone debit cards. I go get my money. But one day we ain't gonna have no choice but to use a debit card, because they are gonna come out with digital money. I mean, they've been trying to bring the digital money out for the last 2 years, and I believe it's God pushing it back. Because they were supposed to come out with the Fed dollar at the end of this year. I've been telling y'all about the Fed dollar for years. But it's postponed, right? So that's what I wanted to tell y'all about excuse me, y'all, about technology, right? And then how many of y'all remember back in 2018 or 2019? No, it was 2018. Yeah. I told y'all that the Lord said 1929 was coming back. How many of y'all remember that? I want to see a show of hands. I don't have that video no more because it was on my old channel that I took down and got off of YouTube because it was hot. Now it's on fire. All right. So how many of y'all remember that video that I told y'all God said 19? Y'all, okay, good. All right. So the Lord put it in my head again. He reminded me. I was like, yeah, I did tell people that, Daddy, right? So I Googled it, right? So in 1929, the United States stock market crashed in an event known as Black Tuesday, right? So this began a chain of events that led to the Great Depression, a 10-year economic slump that affected all the industrial countries in the world. Guys, they've been trying to do this to us. It's Daddy pushing it. They've been trying. Because Daddy told me that this country would not collapse. He said it may seem like it, and we may be at the brink of it, but he wasn't going to let it collapse because he wasn't finished with us. And he said the same thing with the UK. But there's going to be other nations that are going to tank under the pressure, because you got to understand, America's like a palm tree, right? Hold on, y'all. It's cutting up again. I got to get a new one this week. Don't toe up. See, America is like a cedar tree, and its branches is like everywhere, right? So when we become under economic difficulties, which is what we're going now, because we are in a depression and going into a recession. First, it was the famine, right? Hyperinflation, like I told y'all years ago, was coming, right? Then depression, then recession. See, now the recession is the hard part. The recession. Remember I told y'all, how many of y'all remember this dream I had in 2017? I told y'all. I was in a dream. I had on all colors, colored clothes. Even something on my head was red, I believe. And all around me, it was dried up. It was gray and white and black. Just dry. Nothing growing. How many of y'all remember that vision? We in that right now. So the Lord was showing me, see, in a vision, I represented the church itself, the true church of the Most High. He was showing me that this famine, hyperinflation, depression, and then recession was going to come, but we would still thrive in it because I represented the church. A lot of people, prophets, will have dreams and God will use you as the representation of the church, as the true church, right? Because I was in living color and I didn't want for nothing, right? Praise the living God, Yahuah, in Yeshua's name, right? So when I woke up, I was like, what was that? And he was like, that's the famine. So then that's when I started telling y'all about the famine about 5, 6, 7 years ago, right? And he told me, he said, you represent my church. Those who are truly of me, they will not suffer, not a bit. And even if it seems like you're suffering, don't God always take you out of it? Even if your food get low, don't God always store it back up? Even when your money get low, don't God give you something? Right? So we've been in the midst of hyperinflation. First it started with famine. Now hyperinflation. Now we're in depression. The recession will be hitting next year, right? So of course the recession is going to, hit everything, right? But So when God told me we were going to experience 1929, that's what we're experiencing. But it's not going to last 10 years like 1929 did. You know, they keep trying to tell us we in the 2008 bubble that happened. I mean, could be. But God told me back in 2018 we was about to see 1929. And from what I studied about 1929, we in it. Viruses even came around that time. Ain't we going through the virus situation? Now they saying the flu gonna be like worse than ever before. Cycles repeat themselves. How many of y'all remember, was it 2005 or 6? We had the HM1 flu, and hundreds of thousands of people died. History's repeating itself. So if I know we're gonna have a terrible winter in different places, and then I told y'all in some places it was gonna be warm and some gonna be terrible. And they say down here in Georgia we're gonna have a dry winter. And the 5 years I've been down here, we only had like one really cold winter. And when I first came here, we got some snow, and that was it. They were gone. All right. So while some southern parts are going to be dry and kind of more warmer than normal, other places like already having blizzards. I saw all those blizzards, remember? And some places had them already. I even seen Texas having another one. But they going to be prepared this time. Their grid is not going to fall. But I did see blackouts during the winter months because I told y'all that. And then last year I told y'all I saw blackouts for this winter month. And it happened, right? I even seen certain countries' grids being messed with. But I didn't actually see them take the grids out. But I saw them being messed with, especially Canada. But I didn't see them take the grids out. But I saw them messing with it. Far as our country, you know they coming for us eventually. But I don't know when they going to try and mess with our grids. I really don't know. But I know God said our grids need to be updated. How many of y'all remember that vision I had a couple of years ago where I saw the grids in our country and they needed to be upgraded. And Daddy said if they upgraded our grids, they would be unhackable. So let's hope they doing that, right? So now, like so far as the market is concerned, like last year, I told you Daddy said the market was just going to crash in ways it never did before, and it was going to go up and down. And sure enough, that has happened, right? So now, these last 6 months, the market was really supposed to start going up, but then the feds come out with these price point things. And so every time they come out with that, people get scared and run. But like the stock market, we already know it's rigged. It's rigged. It ain't rigged for retail people like us. It's rigged for the rich people. You know, I even told y'all a couple of years ago, I saw them in Daddy called it the secret stock room where they trade stocks and stuff. And us retail people have no idea about it. We could never get in it because we don't have that kind of money, right? But God was like, they need our money. It's our money that's been invested into stocks and crypto that has made them rich, right? And so the crypto and the stock has never been about the retail people. It's always been about the higher ups, the powers that should not be, and our government to make them rich, right? So when you put your money in the stock market, it's not really yours no more. And when you put it in crypto, I told y'all this long ago, it's not really yours no more. And I'm going to prove it. Okay, AMC, they split their stocks, right? Why do they do that? They stock been jacked up for 2 months. It can't even get past $7. Really? I ain't never seen AMC this low. I seen AMC maybe $10, $11, but it snatched right back up to 25, right? So you're like, why did they split their stock? It's jacking it up, right? So let's say you had like $2,000 in your AMC. You might be down to maybe $600 or $700 by now, right? So that's showing you don't control your money. The market do. Because if you controlled your money, you would still have that $2,000 that you invested in. I'm not a guru nor a financial advisor, and this is for educational purposes only, right? But so if you was in control of your money in the stock market, you would have that $2,000. Let's say most people got sheep, so let's say you got $1 billion in sheep, right? And you pay when it was at its highest $2,500, right? And now what is it to buy a billion sheep now? No, not billion sheep, 100 million sheep. When that was at its highest, it was $2,500 to $2,800. Now I think it's like what, $1,000 or maybe $900. to get 100 million sheep. So if you controlled your crypto, will you still have that money that you had when she was really at its highs on October 21st that I prophesied that would come to pass? So that's proof to you that you don't control your money that you put in the stock market or that you put in any investment. It's not yours anymore. And then you're taking a risk when you involve yourself in the stock market, crypto, or any kind of investment. You're taking a risk. It's kind of like, like I asked God, was it gambling? Because if it was, I was just gonna like not even be bothered with it. I asked him this like 3 years ago, and he told me it's not like gambling. It's more like taking a risk in something that's unknown to you, that you hope and pray that you will get a yield, a high return. That's what he was saying. So now I was looking at a lot of coins the other day because there's so many coins out there. It's ridiculous. And Coinbase and Crypto.com, Kuko and Uphold, even Robinhood now, you know, all the time they blasting your email. New coins, ching, 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 ching. You're like, another one? You know? And then God giving me visions, and he gave me a vision about the vote coin. I'm like, what in the world? Right? So you like looking at these coins, and you like, these coins are like almost worthless. Like that coin, what is it called? I think it's called Harvest Farm. Just barely a year ago, that coin was $30,000 a coin. What is it today? $35, $38? What? How the mighty has fallen? And it ain't even been a year yet. I think next month will be a year. How can a coin go from $30,000? And it stayed that way for a long time. And now it's $35, $38? Do you really think it's going to get back to $30,000 within the year that it took it to come down? It could. It may not. Will it ever reach $30,000 again? It could, but it may not. And I'm going to tell you why. It might not. It'll reach some heights, but it may not reach $30,000 anytime soon. Because like I gave y'all a word on the market, like Daddy gave me that like 3 months ago. He was like February was going to be good for the market. And I know he never said nothing about January. And then I think I can't remember. Wait, it's in this phone. And I think he told me March and April wasn't going to be great. And then he said May was going to be good and June wasn't. And then what was it? July, August, September, October were going to be better months. So will they be all-time highs like they were in 2020 and 2021? We have yet to see that. But and he even told me that the Fed was going to eventually stop raising these hikes. And I thought it would be this year, but if it's not this year, it'll probably be next year that they were going to stop doing these rate hikes and these quantum tightening. Because that's the word he gave me. And I'm like, quantum, and I looked it up, right? So it means to squeeze the market. So basically, like all the stimulus money they gave and these PPP loans and grants, they ain't doing nothing but taking it back. Look how many people 401ks have been wiped out, guys. Look how many people retirement funds have been wiped out. And I was talking to God the other day. I was like, Daddy, even when the market does start to try and even out and the bulls come back for whatever amount of time they're going to come back, it's millions of people will never get their money back because their 401ks were wiped out. The pension funds were wiped out. Then you got a lot of people who was wiped out in crypto and want nothing to do with it. So they took their losses and left. And then you got the retail people that bought the dip. I mean, but how much of the dip can you buy? The dip, the day after Thanksgiving, November 26th last year? That's when the market started tanking, right? So we've been having a dip now for a year. How much of the dip can you buy? Because you even starting to lose money in the dip. Many of y'all got into the dips. And you still losing money in the dips. I mean, so how much more dips can you get? And some of these coins are not even a penny anymore. Some of them are like a half a penny, 1/4 of a penny, 1/3 of a penny. Next thing you know, some of these coins gonna be having like 5 zeros in front. I'm like, what? What happened? you got $100 coin, $1 and some change. What? So I mean, even people who bought the dip, they lost money in the dip. So how much dip can you have? Then you keep hearing these gurus, oh, we're at the bottom. Okay, how many bottoms have we had? How many Bitcoin bottoms? I told y'all Bitcoin was almost going to be 16,000. It went to 17,000, almost 16. So that kind of came to pass. Then it went to 18, 19, 20. Now it's been staying at 19,000 for what? 3 months now? It just will not break past its resistance. Right? And until it breaks past that 20,000, 21,000 mode, Bitcoin just going to be sitting. You know what I'm saying? But Daddy said when we see it at that 40,000 mode, we know something about to kick up. But I mean, like all these gurus telling you, oh, we're at the bottom. I mean, really, how many bottoms have we had? 10? 10? And the only reason why we haven't had a bull run is because of Jerome Powell and the government keep coming out with these rate hikes. That's why, because the last 6 months was supposed to be very lucrative. But how can they when you keep coming out with points? And then the Lord told me the information that they're getting isn't even accurate. Like these job reports and unemployment reports and financial reports. Like I remember one night I fell asleep and he just showed me like the stock market in the digital form. And then he was just showing me all these different documents. And these documents were to the right, to the left, at the top, and at the bottom of the stock market. And it was like, I saw the stock market, it was like a square. And it was trying to move, but it couldn't. Because it had these documents to the right, to the left, on the top, and at the bottom. So it was nowhere for the stock market to move. And then I saw these dark thing came out again. Hold on, y'all. And then I saw the documents that was on the top and the bottom, right and left. They started squeezing the stock market. So I had already knew that what was supposed to happen these last 6 months was going to be difficult because the stock market itself was trying to break out. But it couldn't because of these documents. And those documents were these different reports that they go by based on these hikes. And the Daddy told me these reports that they're getting aren't even accurate. Daddy told me they shouldn't even be going up on these points the way they're going because they're not even getting accuracy. I'm like, that ain't right. And then the Lord said, that's how the enemy work. He ain't right. And so he's trying to squeeze out as many retail buyers as he can because he don't want nobody to get rich off the stocks. You really can't get rich off the stocks unless you have like a lot of money invested or you a trader. You know how to short. You know how to, when stuff coming down, you know how to short and get your money. You can make money like that, become rich like that because there's gurus on here that has happened to. But they suffering too. Although they coming on here telling you, oh, I just made 6,000, I just made 600. They pockets is hurting too. Don't let it fool you now. They come on here acting like everything is hunky-dory for them. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. They pockets is hurting too. As far as these investments. Don't let them fool you. Everybody hurting. This ain't miss nobody's pocket, including yours and mine. Because anybody that's invested in stock or crypto, you've been affected. Anybody that had a 401k or pension plan, you have been affected. The only ones that really ain't been affected is those people who have those good insurance pensions. They get stuff through insurance and they make money like that. Those are the only ones that's not affected because those kind of policies are like bulletproof, right? But if you invested in stocks or cryptos, you've been affected. 401k, you've definitely been affected. Pension retirement funds, you've been affected. and in more ways than one. You've been affected in the grocery stores, the gas station. And didn't I tell y'all a couple of years ago that God said it was going to be stuff in the grocery store we would not be able to find no more? Oh my goodness. There's so much stuff you can't even find no more. You can't even find no more, guys. Store don't even have it. And then the vegetables and the fruit. I mean, you buy it 2 days later, it's rotten to the core. Or you buying it, it's already rotten. What in the world? I mean, really. And the food is ridiculous. The price is ridiculous. I don't even know how some families are making it. They got a bunch of kids and single mothers out there, white, black, Hispanic, whatever you are. I pray for you. Because I'm single. You know, I'm not married yet. I'm going to be one day soon. All my kids are grown. You know, and they doing okay for themselves. But it's expensive for me to buy food for myself. So I can imagine. I mean, I used to go to the store and spend $200 and come home with like 7, 8, 9 grocery bags. You barely getting 3 or 4 now. You barely getting 3 or 4. I mean, a teeny weeny pack of ground beef is like $15. Really, a big old pack of wings, $30. Ah! Them wings will stay. You know what I be buying? I be buying them bags of wingies. And when they be on sale, they be like 18, $20. And I remember when those used to be 10 and 12. I get them. Or sometimes I go to this organic store that Pat knew about. Sometimes they'll have this big old thing of wings, legs and the wings, and it'd be a whole bunch of them in it for like $18. I'd be like, yeah, baby, I like it like that. Catoloque, shaka loco. And Pat be laughing at me. She like, you something, Rosalind. I'll be singing that Spanish song. Yeah, baby. So we go up there and we catch the sale. And then I like beef ribs, right? So we go there. And they'll have like 4 or 5 beef ribs in the thing for like $15. I'll be like, yes. Because other grocery stores, you probably have to pay $25, $30. What? Roast beef. I love roast beef. I done chill with the roast beef. I don't even have roast beef no more. Because I refuse to pay those prices. I will just eat me some ribs. And I'll have a steak every now and again. Sure is right. Yeah, they rotten and pricey. I'm like, what in the world? You know? And then they talking about, they gonna have some other stuff that ain't gonna be in the grocery store no more. And milk went up just like I said. Eggs went up just like I said, like God told me. So just know, guys, listen, we are in for a rough ride as far as the world economy goes, as far as the market. But God, I said, God, I know I heard you a multitude of times that you were going to bless your people, even people who wasn't a him. He was going to bless to bring them to him through the markets and through the crypto and through investments and then through other ways. People becoming entrepreneurs through their businesses and stuff like that. So I was talking to him again about it this morning, and he told me the same thing. He said, nothing has changed. He said, things have happened beyond your and others' beyond our circumstances. It's like this. Like Shauna's little boy had a vision, and his vision matched everything that I said in one of my prophecies, right? And he saw a lot of us righteous ones with the angels fighting against the enemy. And it was a fierce battle. I mean fierce, this little boy. And I'm like, Daddy, you showed me something similar to that months ago. I mean, I just don't tell everything I see because everything is not for me to say. Some things is for me to keep to myself and just pray about it. You know, because the enemy attacks. I notice sometimes when I come up with prophecy, I'll tell y'all something about the market or cryptocurrency. It tanks. It done happened about 20 times. And Daddy told me it was because of what I said. And I was like, Daddy, but my channel is not huge like that. He said, okay, your channel's not huge like that, but you're huge in heaven. You are so huge in heaven. It is astronomical how huge you are in the heavens. So when you speak, they hear, they react. And that shocked me. So some of y'all may have small ministries, small platforms, right? You may not be big like some of these big people out here who ain't even telling the truth, who prophesying and ain't even teaching right? But they big down here, but they little up there. But guess what? You big up there. You may be little down here, but you big up here. See, the difference is when you big up here and little up here, you have no way of growing up here to be big down here. But when you big up there and you little down here, you have a way of growing big from up there to be big down here. So never underestimate yourself. I wouldn't care if you only have 50 followers. I wouldn't care. You can be a mighty, mighty one in the heavens and don't even know it. Don't even know it. And that's why you are being so suppressed by the enemy and prosecuted. You know, a lot of Christians in the church today are not really of the Lord. So they're not going to invite you or open up doors for you or collaborate with you because they got the enemy in their heart. They got jealousy. They got this, covetousness. And then you may be teaching stuff that they don't want to touch. You know, they think they might lose their followers. You know, you teaching stuff that they think is outlandish when it's not. You know, and so they don't want to touch you with a 10-foot pole. And so you start thinking to yourself, because I was like that. You know, I mean, I've been invited to places. I preached in a few places and stuff like that, but not as much as I wanted to. But it wasn't my time, right? And my time is coming. So you have to be patient with God. You can't let it get to you because people don't want to touch you like a 10-foot pole, or people don't want to invite you on their platforms, or don't even want to come on your platforms, you know, because you may be teaching a lot of truth that they don't have any idea about. They're scared of it. They won't read the books to find out if you're telling the truth. They won't pray to God to see if you're telling the truth. You know, so they'll ostracize you, prosecute you, and have nothing to do with you. Then you got your witches and then your evil eye people coming against you with videos and whatever, you know, trying to deter people from you. You know what I'm saying? So you fighting on every side. So that's what's happening in the spiritual realm. Us righteous ones are fighting with the angels against this evil kingdom, you know, and they can't outnumber us in the spirit realm because God will always have more than the kingdom of darkness, right? And the reason why the battle is so fierce in the heavens, like I saw on Shauna's son saw, is because we're not losing. See, the battles only become fierce when both sides are not losing. See, the demonic side is right now is being a formidable component, you know what I mean, component, right? And then our side is God's side. So we can never lose because we have God. And we have the Holy Spirit, and we have Yeshua, and a host of heaven of angels and principalities and all that stuff, right? So we can never lose. But the demonic kingdom has become so fortified and unified and so strong, they have become a formidable nemesis to fight against. Meaning, whereas you used to could take them down real easy, right now it ain't that easy to take them down. So you're going to have these serious battles in the spirit realm until they are taken down completely, right? So, of course, the enemy doesn't want God's children or anybody to be millionaires, trillionaires, billionaires, hundredaires. He don't want that because that does not work into his plans. His plans is to get this whole universe, this whole earth, depended on one world government where you get your food from, you get this, you get that. They want to come out with these chips. They want to make everything digital. So when you don't act right, they can cut you off. You can't go buy no food. You can't get no Uber. You can't get on a bus. You can't charge your electric car, you know, because they try to do that. You can't travel, you know, because they don't shut you down. So you like stuck like right there where you at. What you going to do? Just like the Israelites did in the wilderness, Daddy just gave them manna every day, and Daddy just gonna give you manna every day until it's time for you to go. And then I even had vision. I told you this. Where I saw Archangel Michael and Gabriel, Raphael, and all of them coming to get God's children that's still here and moving them in safe havens and safe places with plenty of food and water. And the enemy could not see them because God blinds the enemy. So see, don't forget the God you serve. He is a very powerful God. Yes, we are dealing with a very, very powerful, demonic, evil kingdom, and Yahushua himself is at the helm of it, right? And the Antichrist kingdom is at the helm of it, right? We know this, right? And what we've been going through for 3 years has been like hell on earth, literally. We've never experienced anything in this world that we're going through now. Like our whole lives have been flipped upside down. What we knew almost 3 years ago does not exist anymore, and we don't know if it ever will. Normalcy does not exist anymore, and we know that it will, but it won't be like it was. You know, we know this. And I kept telling y'all a great shift was coming, and that the matrix was changing, and that the earth was rocking and reeling. And now we see it, right? The earth is going to a different frequency, like I said in one of my chronicles. So as the earth is going up to a different frequency, it's making people go crazy. That's why you're seeing all this murder and stuff. It may have a lot to do with the you know what too, but it's basically because the frequencies and the velocity of the earth is rising. Why? Because the kingdom of God is rising. This is why evil keeps rising. Because it's trying to keep up with the kingdom of God to prevent God's kingdom from taking over. That's why when you have all these disasters, people get ready to run to God, but then something come on the media to distract them. They don't run to God. So even the enemy will pull back his destructions to keep you from running to God. Because what happens when you lose everything, when you don't got nothing? Two things going to happen. You're going to either run to God or you're going to mock God and be even further to the devil. And he knows this. So he will lay off of his destruction just for a little while to keep you from running to God. And if that don't work, he will put something out in the news and the media, killing of a black person, or killing of a white person, or killing of a Puerto Rican person, or a big old tsunami somewhere, or a big old hurricane to distract you. And like I told Daddy, I said, the devil, he's that old serpent. And I said, now I know why you call him the old serpent in the Bible, because he can't think of nothing new. Anything that he does that we even think is new, it ain't. Like Solomon said, it ain't nothing new under the sun. And when you are an entity such as Yahuah, although powerful he is not more powerful than our Father, right? He's death. Our God is life. So only life can produce life. Only life can produce new things. Death can't do nothing but repeat old habits, and make it in a new way where you think it's new. Because when he do stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know you do that. He done done that so many times, he just done packaged it a new way. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? And then I'm like, Daddy, why you letting him have his way? God said, I'm not letting him have his way. Man is letting him have his way. It's sin. Well, all the stuff the enemy is doing is sin that has dictated and that has given him the right to do what he's doing. If man would just turn to God and repent, we would just shut that kingdom down. These lands would be like milk and honey. All these different people coming from all these different continents and countries into our land will want to stay in their own land, because their own land will be flowing with milk and honey. But let me tell you something. America don't got that much milk and honey left. The milk and honey that's left here is just enough for us. And I know people running from other countries because it's hard, they're hungry, whatever. And I feel for them and I pray for them. And they have every right to try and come here to get a little something. But it's getting to the point when we ain't even got that much left. We had a whole loaf of bread. We like barely down to like 1/3. We like down to the bare minimum. I mean, how much more can this country take? That's why God said it may seem like this country and UK, and even parts of Africa may collapse. But he ain't gonna let it. It's gonna be like these countries are gonna be dangling on a string, holding on for dear life. And see, it's your own people that's doing it to you in America. It's your own people that's doing it to you in the UK. It's your own people that's doing it to you in Canada and all. It's your own people that govern over you that's doing this. And see, that's what make it bad. Remember the vision I had in 2017? I saw 6 kings. I saw an hourglass. And they was talking about America. A lot of y'all remember it. And Putin came in. And these 6 kings could not figure out how to bring America out. I saw them taking boats out of our country. Literally boats. Like a building. The building still stood even though they were taking the boats out. And they hadn't finished taking them all out, but they had took them out. Then Putin comes in. I could tell you how to take them down. And they said, how, my king? He said, take their legs off. And they said, but why, my king? He said, because their legs are their financial structure. What? Huh? Isn't that what's happening to us? Isn't our financial structure going downhill big time? So they're already trying to chop off the legs, y'all. So you got to pray, God, don't let them chop off the financial legs of this country or your own country for that matter. Don't let them 7 kings get away with it. And guess what? The 6 kings, I believe I told you it was two of our old presidents, and I saw Biden. I remember telling you I saw Biden. Now, mind you, Biden was an ex. Was Obama still in office? No, it was Trump. Biden was an ex-vice president. So I thought it was funny that I would see him in office. I mean, see him in the vision. And I think it was Obama in the vision. And I saw one of the Bushes before he died, because I prophesied he would die. He died a year later, right? And Cheney, I saw him dying of brain cancer. They had his head on a silver platter. Boom, a year later, he gone brain cancer, right? So when I saw Biden, it struck me funny. But see, now I know why I saw him. Ain't he president today? So the dream was telling me that he was going to have a lot to do with the legs of this country and other countries' legs being cut off. If we only knew what it meant back then, what we could have been praying. I mean, we prayed, but we didn't know. And God obviously didn't want me to know at that time for whatever reason. But now that I know, now we can pray. You know, it was two presidents, ex-president. I know Bush was one. I think Obama was there, and Biden. I can't remember who the other three were. They were foreigners from other countries. So that was telling me that other countries are also in cahoots with our people that govern over us to take us down in other countries. So what they want to do is, God said they want us to be dependent on them. That why you think Bill Gates buying all this land? Right? And making all this funny food. Didn't I tell you I had a vision where they made food out of pills? Do you know that's come to pass? I saw an article about it. They've already made pills that you eat and make you full. Didn't I see that? Didn't I tell you that? I saw people driving in the sky. They got rockets coming out where you could drive. What? I saw the drones. I saw the drones in 2018, 2017. All this stuff is coming to pass. I told y'all I had a dream of Total Recall, and that's coming. I had a dream of 2042 with, what's his name in it? Wesley Snipes, where there was hardly no love in the world. What are we seeing? What are we saying? So when I come on here and I give you words from God or any prophet of the Most High, y'all need to pray. Y'all need to pray. They're trying to crush the stock market. Literally, the Lord told me they are trying to break the backs of the stock market. Because if they break the backs of the stock market, they break the backs of crypto. But guess what God told me? He said they can't take down crypto. You want to know why? Because they needed to make the digital dollar. They need crypto to make the digital dollar. The Fed dollar. They need it. The banks need it. Because banks got their own digital dollar now. So how can the crypto go down? But what they want to do is they want to take it down so low that nobody survives it. And then once they get out all the people they want, they're going to let it start rising up like a bull run. So check this out. The Lord told me this. When crypto does go back up and the stocks go back up, all the money that people will be getting when these bull runs come again, all the people who will be getting that money is money transferred from the wicked. Even money transferred from your own brothers and sisters. That's who money you're going to be getting. See, wealth transfer is somebody else's wealth, somebody else's money. So 401k plans, pension plans, people who was wiped out in stocks, corporations wiped out in stocks, businesses wiped out in stocks, people wiped out in crypto. When you do start getting what God said many will get in the stock and the crypto market, you're just going to be getting all those people's money. That's your wealth transfer that y'all call it. Other people's money. Where else is it going to come from? How else is Bitcoin going to go to $40,000 eventually? Other people losses. And when they stop these rate hikes, that's when you're going to start seeing the money flow back in. Even some of these billionaires that you never even heard of before, don't even know they exist, they'll start letting their money flow back into the market because they done made so much of it. All of this is a merry-go-round. It's a merciless, devastating, deceptive merry-go-round. And you retail people, you are the ones that make the bigger ones rich. You are the ones that make them rich. It's like a pyramid scheme. The lower population is at the bottom, holding up the richer population. Think about it. Would Beyonce be as rich as she was if people didn't buy her music? Would Jay-Z be as rich as he is if people didn't buy his rap? Would Princess of the Illuminati, that she calls herself, Brianna, would she be rich? Would Britney Spears, would any of these movie stars, would any of them be rich if people wasn't, we all at fault, we all paid for movie tickets, we've all bought CDs. Michael Jackson, he dead and gone, but he was one of the richest men in the world at one point, and he was number one, and they say he still is. And Elvis Presley, he dead, and his stuff is worth billions, right? Would their families be living luxury, and we live in, you know, our regular life, you know what I'm saying? But we done made them rich. If nobody bought Beyonce, Jay-Z, Britney, Michael, Denzel Washington, Steve Harvey, Kurt Franklin, all of them, if nobody bought their products and entertainment, would they be where they are today? No, they would not. Would Microsoft be who they are today if we didn't download their Word docs? Would Bill Gates be Bill Gates if we didn't download Microsoft docs and all this craziness that he does? Would he be able to buy diseases and vaccines and patent them if we didn't make him rich? So you see, everybody on this planet that's rich, I mean stinking rich, even the ones you never even heard of before, even the Saudi kings, if we didn't buy their oil, you know, we had to buy oil to make the cars run, you know, but now they're making electric cars, right? So Elon Musk wouldn't be Elon Musk if people didn't invest in his electric cars. And if people didn't invest in his AI, and he the one warned you to leave AI alone years ago, but now he's the number one person building the robots. I mean, 10 years ago, you said stay away from it, Elon, and now you're building them. I don't get that. That means you lied to us. You set us up. So with YouTube, would Google be Google and YouTube? Would Facebook be Facebook if it wasn't for us? Who makes Facebook platform? Us, retail people. Who makes YouTube platform? Us. If they didn't have any of us on these platforms, how could they have them? Who makes Google and AOL and Yahoo run? Us. Because we always Googling something. We always AOLing something. We always Yahooing something. Look at Twitter. Why did Elon buy Twitter for $44 billion when Twitter started out just, 7 years ago, 8 years ago? Because we on there, the retail people, tweeting it. So what that tell you? The governments, the rich, got rich off our backs. Got rich off our backs. Look at the banks. How do they get built? By construction workers. If you didn't have them, nothing would be built. So don't you understand, my people, that everybody got rich off of us, retail people? We are entitled to a lot of their money, but they'll never give it to us. Our ancestors, the brown colored people, built this country, literally. A lot of stuff in Africa, our ancestors built. Are we getting anything for it? No, don't even look for it. When Camilla Biden first came in office, they promised to give reparations. Now Joe Biden don't want to give nothing. That's what Gayle King said. Now they're trying to blame it on Africa because Africa did literally sell us, but it's both their faults, America and Africa. The kings at that time. You know what I mean? So just remember, everybody's rich because of you and I. And they owe us a lot of money. But we ain't gonna never see that. Look at our birth certificates. They use it on stock market. Your social security number got serial numbers. They use it on stock market. Technically, we rich. Spiritually, you and I, who are listening to me and will, you and I are extremely rich. We are billionaires. We're probably trillionaires because of our social security number and our birth certificate. But will we ever get it? Nope. Don't even try and fight for it. Don't even try and fight for it. Don't even pray and ask God for it. Just be like, God, give me whatever you're going to give me. You ain't going to get it. You may get it when you go home, but you ain't going to get it down here. But it's good to know how you've been used. your birth certificate, your social, and how you as a retail person have been used to structure all this wealth to other people. Even the pyramids that we find, who built them? Our ancestors. I'm gonna tell you how. You ever thought about how those pyramids get built? Do you know our ancestors were like 8 and 12 feet tall? See, y'all think the giants only come from the the 200 watches mixing in with us. No, the reason why the giants were so tall, 20 feet, 32 feet, even 42 feet, was because our ancestors were 8 to 12 to 14 feet themselves. This is why some trees look like mountains when they really tree trunks. This is why certain parts of the world you go to, trees are so huge you can't look your neck up at it. Because our ancestors were anywhere from 8 to 15 feet tall already. So when they came and mixed with our ancestors, that's where you get 20, 30, 42 feet. I've read even 52 feet for some giants. That's why our ancestors were so memorable to them, because we were only 8 to 15 feet. It was already in our genealogy. And listen, I have this little pamphlet that proves that the brown people have 9 genes and everybody else got 6. And I'm going to, and the rights have expired to it. And it's not even the whole book. It's just a portion of it. And I found out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a personal book. And I'm giving it away for free when I do it. But all you have to do is just pay for the envelope and to ship it to you, which probably would be like $10, $12, depending where you are. And you'll get the book for free. Because somebody told me, Apostle, you're going to lose a lot of friends and followers for lying. So I'm like, and I heard the voice of God. He said, make it into a little pamphlet and give it away for free. Just let them pay for the postage. You can do it. Go and check. And I did. So that's what I'm going to do this week. I'm going to make it into a little pamphlet. Probably take them a week to approve it, because that's how they do. Because it's public domain. And because it takes a long with public domain, right? And I'm going to give it away for free. You just probably have to pay $10, $12, depending on where you are, to get the little pamphlet. Then you're going to be able to read it yourself. And you're going to see that the brown people, African, anybody with this melanation has 9 chromosomes. Even you that's married to white people, Spanish, Chinese, and you black, your kids got the 9 chromosomes. Your kids got it. Why you think black take over? Why you think anything we mix with takes over? The melanin in us takes it over. Takes it over. Because we got 9. Everybody else got 6. That's why we hate it, y'all. That's why they can't stand us. That's why the devil keep trying to take us out. That's why he keep trying to white us out. Because he know. But see, he wasn't smart. I'm going to tell you how. He didn't know that when you mix with our race, your children have our 9 chromosomes. I don't care if they even look white. They got it. Your kids got it. Now, when you marry into it, that don't change. The black man, black woman still keep the 9, and the white person, Spanish, Chinese, whatever, keep their 6. But your kids get 9. Why? This takes over president, because it's supreme and it was number 1. Okay? And this is truth. In books, Google it. This ain't coming from me. And I'm gonna make that book into a little pamphlet. I'm gonna give it away for free, so y'all can see the scientists' names and all that they did. So if you want to stop following me because I'm just telling the truth, go right ahead. I don't care. I don't care, because the brown, black, Africans, whatever you is, you gonna know who you is when it comes to me. You gonna know you got 9 genes. You gonna know you supreme. You gonna know you celestial. Like God says in Corinthians 15, 1 or 2. You gonna know who you is. And if that causes me to risk losing people, so be it. Because black people have been ostracized for a century, made to feel like trash, like we're nothing. Like we're cursed because of him. When the whole time we are special beings to our Father, and he black just like us. So I don't care if you don't like the truth or not. God loves all colors. You're going to see rainbows up in heaven. But the truth needs to be known. Who is really the ones of God? The celestial beings that came down on spaceships to Africa. And then there was 4 other beings that was created from somewhere else. That made it with us. See, y'all slept on y'all thought. Don't sleep on him. He can create. All he needs is a gene pool. He could do it. Didn't I tell you in that Bible, when God tell me to tell you the name of it, you're going to find out that he created a second Adam. But it took Chiwu, Eve, God sent her to blow life into him so that he could become like her. And those are the 2 that came here. The original Adam never came here. Why you think they call Yah the second Adam? There's a reason why they call Yah the second Adam. He didn't come. That Adam that Yahweh made came. Because God sent Chiwu, Eve, to blow life in him. They came here together, fully formed. She never came out his womb. And I'll be so glad when God releases me to tell you the name of that Bible so you can see for yourself. All right, so I gotta go. So I just came to tell y'all that I ain't even mean to stay on this long. Seriously, I was only meant to stay on here for like 30, 40 minutes. But you know how God be. You know how he be, man. You know how he be. He be like, you know what? I'm gonna get her while she on here. I'm gonna get her. Because you know I don't come live that much no more. He's like, while she on here, I'm gonna get her. And go to my posts on this channel and the other channel. And I put about 6 or 7 links to videos that I forgot I had that y'all really should listen to. The Lord led me to do it. Some of them is 2 hours long, 2.5 hours and 30 minutes. So, you know, you do it at your time, but you should listen to them. So I put them there. All right. Don't even believe me. Just take it to God. Believe God, because although I'm a spirit and human body, I can err. And I'm not erring, but I'm saying I can. But always, I mean, with anything that I say, anything anybody else say. We all, and well, I am in a habit, but all of you who follow these people on the YouTube, like the Camille Hendricks thing, I made a video about that because people kept coming to me and I talked to Daddy about it, right? Although she's not a false prophet, but still, even with me, anybody that give you prophecy, although my track record is excellent because of God, right? Although just about everything I say comes to pass, right? Because it's God. Still, fact check me. Fact check me with God. Be like, Lord, it's Apostle telling the truth. See, we get complacent. We get so used to prophets or prophetess or preachers, whatever, being so accurate in their teaching, preaching, evangelism, prophecy, till you get complacent and you don't even go and pray and ask God if the person is telling the truth anymore. Because you be like, dang, anything they got nothing. Or their channels get huge. They get like 50, 60, 70, 100,000 or more followers. And you be like, well, if they got all these followers, then they must be of God. And so anything they tell you, like I saw a prophetess, which I know is a witch. And I told y'all about her, but a lot of y'all still follow her. But I ain't saying her name no more. She prophesied that Boris over there in the UK would come back to be the prime minister again. He declined it. And when I saw it, because it was on my peripheral vision when I was on YouTube uploading the video. And I said, Daddy, why is she lying? She's such a witch. I said, Daddy, when did you want to expose her? He said, I already did. Don't nobody want to believe me. And that's the problem. I said, Daddy, she going to look so foolish. And darn if she don't. Because Boris ain't coming back. He declined. It's in the news. Some other man they show him with black hair, kind of handsome, darker looking. Really? Really? That's why you got to take everything to God. You got to take everything to God. I don't care how their track record is, how many followers they got. Don't judge a prophet or a person of the gospel by their followers, because they could have started out good when wanted a bad, or they could be witches. Do you know they could go to the rivers and to the water and stand in the water and do a marine kingdom ritual and join all these fishes, and the fish represent the humans, and bam, in 2 to 3 months they got 50, 100,000 followers. They don't come on and preach to you. They don't come on and pray for you. All they do is give you these words. Oh, somebody mad at you and they gonna call you and apologize. Oh, he looking for you. He coming back tomorrow. And I can't believe how people feed off of that nonsense. Have you ever heard of common prophecy? Then I'm going to go. Do you know what common prophecy is? Okay. There's always going to be somebody out there waiting for an ex to come back. There's always going to be somebody out there that's mad at somebody that's going to come and apologize. There's always going to be somebody out there looking for a husband or a wife. There's always going to be somebody out there that's about to meet their husband or wife. There's always going to be somebody out there thinking about you. May I go on? Common prophecies. So when you listen to these people, you're like, oh, that's a true prophet because that's what I'm going through. No, boo, common prophecies. That's what witches use. Common prophecies. And witches, warlocks, wizards, all of them. Common prophecies. And they go to the water. They do marine rituals. And they bring in all these fish from the sea. And these fishes represent lambs of God. And they put spells on these fishes because you represent them fishes. And they put spells on you. So when people expose them to you, you won't believe it because you are spellbound. Bad things start happening in your life, but you don't equate it to the witch you listen to. You just equate it to the devil attacking you. Or you equate it to this person. When it's the witch, you see her coming in your dreams. Oh, that's God showing me she or him. Really? That's why a lot of y'all in trouble now. That's why a lot of people having problems in their life right now. This is why a lot of people can't get ahead in life. This is why your finances jacked up. This is why your marriage is jacked up. This is why you separate. This is why you can't even get a husband. This is why you can't even have a baby. This is why your ministry can't get off the ground. Because you follow witches and warlocks and wizards. And God trying to tell you, and you don't want to listen because you under spell. You better pray and say, Father, in the name of Yeshua, if I'm under any satanic spell of a witch, a warlock, a wizard, cancel with the blood of Jesus, I bind them up and loose them to the feet of y'all to be judged. And forgive me, Father, for falling under such magic. In Yeshua's name. Oh, thank you. Somebody said, let's chip in to give Apostle a donation. Okay, well, let me just give you my stuff. Okay, it's Cash App, $ Yahweh, YAHUAHLOMELOM. HIM. Then you can go to Prophetess Rosalind Solomon.blogspot.com or GetThatStreetThat7.com. Where is it? GetThatStreetThat7.com. Yeah. And PayPal's to the middle right. And just sow all you want. Ministry will be much obliged. All right. So I got to go. So I love you guys. And I will be back soon. Catch up on all my videos because I did a lot of them, the prophecies and all that stuff. And just know that they are trying to crash this market purposely to prevent us retail people from getting what God has prophesied to many reputable prophets, including myself. You don't think they don't listen to us? Yeah, they listen to us. Please. Some people, FBI listen to. I remember the Lord told me they used to listen to me. I don't know if they still do. You know what I'm saying? They got spies everywhere. You never know who listening to you. Everybody's not subscribed to you that listens to you. You know what I'm saying? And like a lot of my videos, they get lots of hits. But the counts are always being taken down. I can have a video that have 5,000-6,000 hits and it will be taken down to 2,000-3,000. And why do they do that? To make people not interested in my channel. To make people think nobody's listening to my video. I have videos from 2 years ago that only got 400 and something hits when they used to have thousands of hits. I never forget the flat earth video I had. It had got 15,000 hits. It was knocked down to 2,000. So that's to make people not interested. If you're going through this, I'm going to tell you why it's happening to you. It's to make people not interested in your channel. Because, see, they know people are visual. Humans are visual. And when they see a channel that the videos, it shows I have 11,600, right? But then when you look at my videos, some of them only have 2,000, 3, 4, 5. 600, 700, and you're like, wow, her own people not even listening to her. And that's what they doing to me. They knocking down my counts, making my channel look uninterested, so nobody won't want it. So when you go to channels and they got 15,000 followers and all their videos match their followers or halfway, then they like, oh, okay, that's a good channel, people is listening. So I'm just letting y'all know. And I ain't afraid to tell y'all. I mean, what can happen? What can happen to me? I mean, they already done did what they gonna do, you know. And if they ever take my channel down again, what can I do? But just go and get another one if God want me to, and build it up. And I'm saying, what can you do? You know, you can't be afraid to tell people what's happening to you. And I'm telling y'all this so y'all understand, and so y'all will pray for me, whether I last on here or not. You know, and pray for my other platforms. You know, because when something is taken away from you and you're a true child of God, God will replace it, you know? And it's not that God is allowing this to happen to me on this platform. It's people's will. The people on this platform, it's their will to degrade my channel. It's their will to try and take me off of here. It's their will to degrade my videos. It's their will to put me in their timeout. It's their will to come against me. It's their will to harass me. And you know, God is not going to go against anybody's will if it's absolutely necessary. But guess what? He's been maintaining me. He's giving me other platforms, and I'm looking into other platforms in case something happened with my 2 channels here. So he's giving me other venues. I could go out on the street and preach. You know, it's other ways of reaching, you know, and especially when I go home, I'm going to start having conferences and everything. And don't worry, I'll be able to reach every last one of y'all. If it ain't on here, it could be on Facebook. If it ain't on Facebook, it could be on Rumble or something like that, a BitChute. It could be. Trust me. Trust me. Where there is God, there is always a will to reach the masses, however you want to reach them. You know what I'm saying? Wherever there is a will of God, he will always make a way. So you can't be afraid to lose this and lose that. You can't. You can't compromise yourself just to keep a platform. You can't do that because God don't want you compromising yourself. You know, you tell people what you're going through so they can pray for you. But you always stay true to yourself and you stay true to God. Never compromise because somebody's putting you under pressure or because they're threatening to take away something from you that really don't belong to you. This YouTube don't really belong to me. Facebook don't really belong to me. Do I own Google? Do I own YouTube? Do I own Metaverse? I don't own them. So these platforms aren't even mine. These platforms have been given to me to utilize as long as I follow their laws and their structures. If I come out of their laws and their structures, then they're going to take this platform away from me because they can, because it belongs to them. I have not paid them any money for this platform, and they don't pay me neither because I don't put those commercials on my thing no more. So, you know, it's an even still. So if I do something they don't like, they could take me off. They could take me off, and there ain't nothing I could do because I don't own these platforms I'm on. I don't. You don't neither. So although we do say welcome to the Rosalind Solomon YouTube channel, welcome to your YouTube channel, Prophetic Voice of Yeshua's Mini, it's not really ours. It belongs to YouTube. It belongs to Google, and they can do what they want with it at any given time. And they can take it down at any given time if they feel their structures and laws and legality has been gone against. Or if they feel they could be in jeopardy with their sponsors because of you, no matter how small or how big your channel is, they could take it down. Look at Alex Jones. He had almost 2 million gone. I think he back on again, but he ain't got nowhere near that. Gone. So you know if they could take him down and others like him, this channel and yours is it's a done deal. You know, so remember, these things don't belong to us. They are just being utilized for as long as we can utilize them. Because one day it's going to come where we can't even utilize these things anymore. We won't even be able to be allowed to even come on here anymore. So let's just take it for what it is and utilize it the best way you can. And just keep your hope in God. Don't compromise yourself to stay on these platforms. Don't go against yourself. Don't compromise God, and don't go against God for these platforms. Because when something is taketh, he giveth. When something is removed, he replace. When something is taken away, he finds a way. Remember that. So y'all have a blessed day, and I pray that we all have good testimonies. All right? So we just gonna praise God on the way out. Come on. Put your hands in the air. I can't wait till I have conference. I'ma sing some of my songs. I'm gonna sing some out of my heart. And we gonna wave our hands in there to Daddy. Cause we know we can. He watching us. He watching us right now. He never takes his eyes off of us. Not for 1 second. So remember, you're being watched, not just by the enemies. You're being watched by the Almighty too. He ain't gonna let the devil get away. You might get a little dirty, but He gonna use the Holy Spirit, soap and water to clean you right on up, yeah. So never compromise, keep your hope in God, stand firm with your integrity. Say it with me, Daddy, give me more integrity, give me more faithfulness and honor and humbleness. Keep me strong, keep me encouraged, keep me in love with you, keep me having faith, keep me going, God. Don't ever let me sit down, keep me standing for righteousness and holiness. Don't ever let me compromise, no, I don't want to. Keep me right, keep me strong, keep me